Good morning, friends. I am Patty Elhoff, the author of Upcycle with Decoupage, and today I thought I would show you how to do this interesting little project where I took this bike that I found in the thrift store, and this is a kid's bike, so it's a little bit easier to work on than starting with a big bike. And you can see it's very dirty, so I scrubbed the whole bike down. I then took this spray paint. Now this paint works over plastic, metal. You can see it says Ultra Cover, and I wanted the flat white finish. So I took this particular spray paint and I coated the whole bike. I'm not going to be using this bike, so I didn't have a problem spraying the spray paint everywhere, even on the chain. Now you notice the tires are white here. That was a big help. But if you're going to reuse the bike, if you want to take your bike and do this to it, you can do it. You just need to cover up your tires so that, because you'll probably have black tires and you're going to want to make sure the paint doesn't get on those. You can also cover up the place where the chain is. You may have some shopping bags and you can put one over one end and one on the other and then tape it up so that you don't get the paint on your chain, although it won't hurt the chain. The chain's got so much oil on it or lubrication that this white paint will wear off gradually anyway. It is summertime here and it's a hot sunny day, very low humidity, so I left this outside to dry. I left it outside for a couple of hours. It doesn't take that long to dry. I just had other things that I had to do while it was drying. Because of the way I have it standing here, I was able to paint the other side at the same time and just left it outside. Now, while this was outside drying, here's what I was doing inside. I took the napkin that I was going to use, and I have these aqua pens. These are normally used for watercolor, but they work very well for decoupage. You can use these when you're tearing your napkins like this. Now you don't want to separate the napkins yet, and if you'll notice this pattern, it's almost a chintz-like pattern. The flowers are very tiny, which is what we're going for, because when you're putting these on the bike, if you use something that's too large, you're going to lose the pattern. So you want to find the smallest napkin pattern that you can. And this one in particular was good because there's a large flower in the center, which I used on the seat. So don't separate the napkin, but let's go around the napkin. If you don't have the aqua pen, you can still use a paintbrush to do this. You want to wet around the flowers and tear these away. And since I'm working on a long tubular type of an area, I was able to just tear about 3 or 4 of these apart at a time. Want to make sure you don't have any hard edges like there. I mean straight edge when I say hard. So carefully tear away those hard edges. You also want to make sure your napkin background color is white, just like the white that you just spray painted on your bike. And when you're all done tearing out all of the napkin pieces that you need, now you'll want to separate these napkins. So if you just dampen your fingertips, this goes by relatively quickly. This is only a 2-ply napkin, so I was able to do it pretty quickly. But go through all of your napkins, and it will take a little bit of time. And I used 2 napkins for this whole project. Now that the bike's dry, I'm taking some napkin decoupage glue, and I'm doing the dry technique. I have all of my napkins here in a paper plate, and the dry technique means that I'm putting the napkin down onto the dry surface. So I'm putting a little decoupage glue onto my brush. I'm applying the napkin down right where I want it, and then I'm going to brush it on. And it's best to start right in the center, hold the napkin down, and then pull the brush out from the center, going to all ends. Now if you'll notice, because the napkin is white and the bike is white now, the napkin disappears right into the bike and it just looks like it's painted on. And basically all I'm going to do is go around all of the other surfaces on the bike and follow this same step. So rather than bore you, I will fast forward this part of it and then move on to the next step. I did spray paint this seat, by the way. That multi-surface paint worked perfectly on the seat as well as the metal and the plastic. I'm trying to hold the camera while I'm doing this, so I'm sorry if it's a little jumbly. And now everything is dry. I'm done decoupaging the whole bike, and I'm adding 1 coat of decoupage glue over the whole surface and letting it dry. Once everything has dried, I'm taking something called Spar Varnish, S-P-A-R. All of this is on my website. If you want a link to my website right below this video, all of the links to these products will take you right over to Amazon. And I'm covering the whole bike with the Spar Varnish because the Spar Varnish makes it waterproof. If you are using the bike, you will probably want to cover your tires, and this is just a paper bag that you can put, plastic bag, I'm sorry, you can put over your tires. You can also put it over the chain so that none of the Spar Varnish gets on there. And you can paint this on or spray it on. It's a very high gloss, but it does have the UV protector. So I'm covering the whole bike with this. And now that I'm done, here's how our charming little bike looks. And I'll show you some of the close-ups of the smaller areas, like down here over the chain. And you can see this bike went from being something that no one wanted anymore to something I will now keep on the porch. I may put a little basket on the front there and put some matching flowers inside. I may even decoupage the basket following these same steps with the white paint and this same napkin pattern. So my friends, that is our upcycled bike, our project for the week. I hope you enjoyed this. Don't forget, Upcycle with Decoupage is also on Facebook. If you go over and like and follow the page, you'll be notified every week when I put a new video out. In the meantime, thank you so much for subscribing. It helps me to keep going over here, as well as when you shop through my website. It allows me to keep making these videos and showing you guys how to do some of this work with some of your stuff. Wouldn't you love a bike like this? When you were a little girl, wouldn't you have loved it? I think I want to get a grown-up bike and do this to it now myself. It's so pretty. So I will see you guys next week with another video. The link to my website is down right below this video in the description. And I will see you next week with another video. Thanks again, friends. Bye-bye.